What's up? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022. We are your casters for tonight. My name is James.
And my name is MG. Let's go.
Let's really go as we are going to start day number 2 of our Ragnarok Asia Masters. And again, this is still the elimination rounds, GGH versus GGL. I know a lot of things are going to go on because the first match is going to be between Opus Dei versus Walang Sangit Ka.
Yes, and this is gonna be an interesting match. Because I think this is gonna be Opus Day's first 7v7. Yeah.
Actually, MG, so that you don't miss anything, let's can you actually check what's happening on the starting point of map 1?
Oh, okay. Let me
Maybe
double check.
maybe they're already there though. Okay, so no one's there. All right, all right. We're just checking. We're just checking. Okay, so no, we won't miss anything. Anyway,
Yeah.
guys, of course we want to check everything now because yeah, we want to make sure everything is caught live.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
And so that you can watch every exciting moment that will happen here in Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022. Again, this is GGH versus GGL. For now, in the eliminations, GGH is Opus Dei, GGL is Walang Sangit Ka. And, you know, these two teams actually we haven't seen play yet in 7 vs 7. Of course, this is going to be the first time we are going to see these two teams. But as we've mentioned in Ragnar or in our day 1 of the eliminations, GGL has a lot more experience when it comes to 7 versus 7 matchups. So, based on that alone, I probably think that Walang Sangit Ka has the edge. But I'm pretty sure for Opus Dei, they won't give up that easily. They won't give their opponent the easy victory, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good match. Of course, to start our day number 2 here in Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022.
Yes. Again, you're correct about that, James. Again, Opus Day, definitely they actually have their practice, their scrims. They've been showing up on Wharf Imperium. They're trying to contest multiple fights on their practice as well on the WoE, right? So definitely these guys are pretty prepared. But I just want to tackle first James. Since I think most of the guilds right now is like still preparing, so we still have like a few minutes to discuss some stuff that happened on the first day of this Ragnarok Asia Masters, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, actually, upon reviewing what happened during the first day of the Ragnarok Asia Masters, only one team from GGH actually won a match, and that's LN Porkchop. Of course, Wrist and Hall of Tarask and Obliviate from GGL actually got the best of the GGH teams, and they've actually proven themselves to be competitive in 7 versus 7 because we've seen how they play, and it's a 2-0 victory against their opponents. So
Yes.
for Obliviate, I'm pretty sure because of their Runite that they showed in the first match, they actually dominated Trident Friends when they attacked, or they were being aggressive. That Rune Knight along with that Sura actually casting that Gates of Hell. That Rune Knight only caused some additional damage, and that Sura finished off the team of Trident Friends at that first match that we saw last Wednesday, or the round number 1 of the Ragnarok Asia
Yes.
Masters.
Yes, I think Obliviate actually showed their experience and dominance when it comes to 7v7, and definitely Trident Friends. It's actually their first time on the 7v7 scene for GGH, right? And
Well, I think everyone here from GGH
yes,
is the first.
actually, yeah. Sorry, let me correct that. Everyone is actually like first on this one for GGH. And speaking of the execution, like on the first two matches, like we have Trident Friends versus Obliviate, and definitely Obliviate dominated on that fight. So that resulted into a 2-0 in favor of Obliviate. Talking about the second match, Nimrod versus Hall of Tarask.
Well, upon watching this match is quite pretty interesting because yeah, for Nimrod, I'm not sure. Or for Hall of the Ross, because for Nimrod they're planning a different approach, um, for their lineup at that time. Of course, they have that Rune Knight, but their Rune Knight is not really the common 7 versus 7 build that they used at that time.
Yes. Again,
Mm-hmm.
there's actually like a big like I think Nimrod has a chance on that scene, on that fight actually. But again, Howl of the Rest showed that they're actually that they can actually win and dominate. They have the composure. They know where to pressure. They know what to protect and when to attack as well. So I think the patience and the execution coming from Howl of the Rest paid off. So that's why it resulted into 2-0 versus
I
Nimrod.
know. I'm pretty sure that's what's important. Know how to protect and to attack.
Yes.
I like that. Yes,
Protect,
and I'm
always
pretty
protect.
sure our viewers like that as well. And for those of you who are watching the stream right now, please do like and share our live stream for Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022. Please also do follow the Ragnarok Online GGH page, as
Yes.
we are going to start our match in just a bit. Maybe they're in the starting point right now. MG, can we
Yes.
check?
Actually, they're still we're just
Oh,
waiting
they're
for
still
the
buying.
yes
They're still
we're
purchasing.
waiting
Okay.
for the GM's go signal. So I think some of
Uh-huh.
them are still buying or fixing their
Mhm.
characters. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's go on with that recap that we were having right now. So for the third match, that is LM Pork Chop and 15% active. This is an interesting match, of course.
Oh
LM
yeah.
Pork Chop pulled off that mechanic play, Suicidal Destruction, landing on 5 for the victory in the first round of their match. And the second one, they got caught in the corner, but that Suicidal Destruction again, once again, eliminated around 3 or 4 players from 15% active. That's why it was hard to retaliate for 15% active, and Ellen Porkchop at the end got that victory.
Yes. I really like how LN or Chop showed their aggressiveness on this fight. They actually set the tempo and the rhythm for the entire two games that they had. They didn't allow 15% active to react or even to put their strategy on the first few cells of their respawn point. So that's how aggressive LN is. At the second round, we thought that LN is gonna play it defensively, like what happened on the side of Howl of Tarask. But LN, they just want to end the fight quickly. They just went in, do a quick curse circle, and the sweet salad destruction connecting to several players, and that's it. Plain and simple strategy, and it worked on their end.
Yeah, so well, I think that's one of your favorite combination, that
Yeah.
Curse Circle and Suicidal Destruction, because what went on actually in the weekend or just yesterday
Oh,
here in the Philippines. Of course, it was the ESGS 2022. We had, or there was an ESGS 2022 or Ragnarok Asia Masters exhibition match that went on last yesterday. Um, it was two teams who actually tried to pull off that curse circle suicidal destruction, but that mechanic play rather. So
yes.
yeah, it was quite interesting because we see these teams try to come up with different strategies, different kind of plays for their for their team composition. And I
Yes.
think upon gaining experience, upon more practice, maybe they will get better really, because experience is really the best teacher. Of course, for
Mhm.
7 versus 7, for War of Imperium, and in general, I think.
Yes. And before we tackle the fourth match on our first day, I think the timer is already started. They only have like 3 minutes before the round starts. So I think we're gonna be teleported into the map for the
Yes.
yes.
Well, actually, MG, what is well, anyway, that was really unfortunate actually for the fourth match that we didn't get the chance to see in our
Yes.
live stream, and
Ah, yeah.
unfortunately we don't have
Yes.
the footage for that.
Yes.
It was Dominari versus Wrist.
Rest.
So
Yeah.
upon getting some insight from the players who know Risk, or from the people who have a brief background about Risk, is that they're a really formidable team that is competent in 7 versus 7. So I think that's why Dominari got the or Dominari, or rather Risk got the victory in that
Yes.
matchup.
Yes, and it's actually a quick match as well. The moment that our match ended, they ended their match as well. So just imagine how fast the execution of Wrist is versus Dominari. But again,
Well, I think MG, before even our match ended,
yeah, yeah,
their round 2 ended as well. So maybe they have a different strategy in mind, but unfortunately, we don't have any footage for that. And yes, here in 7 vs 7, just a brief explanation, guys. We have a 3-minute buying time every round. So every after round, players are spawned back at the buy point to of course, to refill their potions, their items that they use in 7 versus 7, and upon getting teleported to the starting point of the map that they chose via dice, they will I think there's going to be a 1 minute and 30 second or to be 2 minutes of buff time. I'm going to, what do you
yeah.
call this,
Double check.
double check that in a while.
Okay, so here we go. James, are you ready for our first match for our Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022?
This is going to be interesting. Let's actually talk about the lineup of Opus Dei right now, since we are spectating them right now. MG, can you put it? Okay, so for Opus Dei, as you can see, they have that Warlock in their lineup. They have that Shadow Chaser.
Yes.
So this is going to
standard,
be... Yeah, well, it's pretty standard, but it really depends as well on what skill of the Shadow Chaser has copied. So maybe, you know, the standard will be Crazy Weed, probably, because that will remove that Land Protector from their opponent. We haven't seen what Walang Sangit Ka is using. So as they meet later on, probably in the middle of this map or somewhere out there,
somewhere out there.
somewhere out there, all right, we might actually see them with a very, very different lineup. Like what I mentioned actually back in the exhibition match that we had yesterday. The wildest wild card. What do you think is the wildest wild card that you can see in 7 versus 7? Because I mentioned mine yesterday, and
You
it's
said,
really
yeah.
it's really wild because it's based on RNG, if you can really pull it
Yeah.
off. But right now, the match is starting. Opus Dei is just going to charge in and try to find their opponent. As you can see, they have some spacing. That Sura is just using that body relocation or that snap to
Yes.
position himself around. As Opus Dei, I think, is just going to try and meet their opponents. Walang Sangit Ka at the middle, as
Okay,
Walang
here we
Sangit
go.
Ka is pushing very, very aggressively, but they will back down for a bit. You can see that they have scouts here and there. Walang Sangit Ka is going to just step on their Land Protector. I think they are going to wait for Opus Dei to come in this little island right here and push
Yep.
onto that bridge.
Yes, I think
But,
this is, yeah. I think this
yeah,
is
yeah,
this is actually right that they're doing. Again, this is actually their first match, so they want to play safe as much as possible. They don't want to have those risky setups, because again, they're actually using a Warlock and a Shadow Chaser, so that means they need to protect this Warlock as much as possible, because again, the Warlock is one of their source in damage versus Walang Sangit Ka. And on the side of
Yes.
Walang Sangit Ka, they have the RK, which is, we saw
The Rune Knight. The Rune Knight.
the
Rune
Rune
Knight,
Knight.
yeah.
We saw that last time, that it's actually a heavy pressure type of style. So yeah, I think they're just trying to wait and making sure everything is on their places. Okay.
And they are going to meet right now. You can see the vacuum getting casted right there. Walang Sangit Ka wants to go in. Crazy Weed getting casted on the floor for Opus Dei.
Oh!
And Opus Dei not having that Land Protector on the floor for them. That Royal Guard is actually just trying to go in. As you need to position yourself in the middle and turn your camera around, MG, we want to see the whole battle. Opus Dei is just going to try and maybe try to sort things out as Walang Sangka is just going to barge in and try and eliminate every member of Opus Dei right there. Minstrel
Wow.
is very, very low on health. That Archbishop won't last that long as Walang Sangit Ka just playing safe at that little island over there, waiting for Opus Dei to cross that leafy bridge. I think pulled wonders for their team, and it made sure, um, it made their strategy work because the position is really one of the keys in 7 versus 7. They position themselves in a spot where they are at an advantage.
Yes, I agree. And actually, there is a good prayer circle coming from what do you call this? Opus Dei earlier. But again, the follow up coming from Opus Dei, I think most of their players are kind of too far from that prayer circle, so there is actually no follow up coming from Opus Dei. So I think let's go ahead and switch. Let me just go ahead and switch, guys. Let me just switch map. Or switch sides.
Actually, you can just warp out later at the spawn point or the starting point of
Just want to make
Walang
sure.
Sangkal in a bit. But
There you
anyway,
go.
this is
There you
Walang
go.
Sangkal. Again, they are using that Rune Knight for the lineup along with that Shadow Chaser. Um, Based on what we've been seeing so far, GGL. I'm pretty sure for GGL, this is kind of the standard meta because they're using that Runite, of course, and that Shadow Chaser. So maybe because they have more experience in 7 versus 7, they believe this is the best roster. That's the best roster you can use in 7 versus 7 right now.
Yes, I agree. Actually, the Rune Knight is actually pretty good. Like you have the sustain on that one, and he can pressure, he can damage as well, right? So I really like the pick for on the side of Walang Sangit Ka, because again it's not too risky, and at the same time it's not you don't have that worry that you need to devo this this character anymore. So mostly of the devos is gonna be focused on maybe on the warlocks and the suras as well. So it's actually good.
Yes, so these teams are just going to buy their items right now. As what we've been saying earlier, though, MG. We have some time for these teams to buy items because, you need some potions to last in a 7 versus 7 match. And you need to have those potions at a right amount. You need to have the right amount of potions because you don't want to last in a battle where you have an overwhelming amount of white slims or condensed white potions and you
Yeah.
don't have any more blue potions. So you
Yes.
need to balance it right wherein you have that weight wherein you can still cast those skills that are specifically okay for you, that's below 90%, that's around 89%. So if you can get your way to that level and compute the right amount of potions that you have to bring to battle every time and the items that you need, I think that is one of the things that proves your experience in 7 versus 7.
Yes, and definitely, I think Walang Sangit Ka gained their confidence on this match. While on the side of Opus Dei, they need to have like a quick talk, maybe on where to pressure, and they need to talk as well about the follow-ups as well that for the Sura, because earlier that was actually a good curse circle coming from Opus Dei, but again no follow-up, and that Sura got really punished and got hit by Gates of Hell from Walang Sangit Ka. So yeah.
Yes, and look at that Sura from Walang Sangika. He's going to play with fire, and Asura playing with very low HP is going to cause some heavy damage against your opponent. Whoever gets caught by that Sura's Gate of Hell will get eliminated instantly.
Definitely. Yes.
Instantly. But playing with very low HP is still risky. It's a high risk, high reward because if that Sura gets dispelled and there is no backup, there is no support, and you got hit by maybe a single Diamond Dust, that can be the end for that Sura, and maybe it will cost the victory for Walang Sangika. So they need to be careful to take care of that Sura because I believe that Sura's HP is kind of like only
This is
4%
yeah.
remaining. That's very, very
This
low.
is
That's
really
dangerously low. Oh my goodness.
yeah. Yeah, and the same time, just imagine the confidence that they have, like putting the
Uh-huh.
Suras on this type of HP. But then again, I just
A
want to mention
dangerously low amount
dangerous,
of
yeah. But I
HP.
just want to mention they need to be careful on Opus Day. It doesn't mean that they managed to take out the Sura easily earlier. It definitely Opus Day can actually pull off a good strategy on this one. It's just they need to what do you call this? Feel the 7v7 map. So I think they got lost on the first one. So let's see the adjustment coming from Opus Day.
Well, as we are going to follow Walang Sangik right now, let's see on how they actually start this match. They are just going to cast their buffs. The match is going to start, or the round is going to start right now. Again, this is round number 2, Opus Day versus Walang Sangik, with Walang Sangik getting that first point already for this matchup. As you can see, the first ones to scout here are the Shadow Chaser and that Rune Knight, just making sure they have that right amount of space and
Yes.
right amount of or the right positioning to deal with their opponents that will come in later on. So Opus Day, I'm pretty sure they will be meeting somewhere on the ground or below, or maybe somewhere up top. But
Yes.
it's always, or it usually is in the middle, as the Shadow Chaser just going to scout around. Okay, so Opus Day just waiting there. They're just
Yes.
waiting for they are going to wait for their opponents, probably there in that magnetic earth land protector. Crazy Reed will get casted right there. Magnetic earth. You look at that sorcerer coming
Here
from
we go.
Walang Saika, just trying to go in.
Oh, he's going in.
From Opus
Oh!
Day. What is he
Jack
doing?
Frost.
But Jack Frost will
Fall
get
back.
casted. Look at that Sura. Oh my goodness, almost getting taken down, and Opus Day is putting up a fight right here.
can
And
still win
Windmill
this.
getting casted by that Sura coming from Opus Day. As you can see, that Walang Sangik is backing down for a little bit right now, and they are going to cause some bit of a trouble here.
Oh!
Opus Day, as that Royal Guard will go down. That Rune Knight is still casting that damage.
go.
Heavy firepower coming from Walang Sangik right now. But Opus Day, I don't think they have. Oh, they still have that.
Yeah, they still have the
there,
Sura.
but close confine will lock him up. And another Gates of Hell to take him down. Walang Sangik is going to take this round, as I think they're just chasing for one more member, or yeah, I think that's going to be it.
Yeah.
But I like how Opus Day actually took the fight to their hands, because that Warlock, I thought he was actually going to use a different skill, but he went in, used that Jack Frost, or is that Frost Meteor or Jack Frost, to actually freeze their opponents. So with that said, that after that Warlock actually froze that Sura of Walang Sangik, unfortunately for Opus Day, there was no follow-up.
Yes.
So yeah, I believe that Rune Knight also caused some damage to Opus Day. That's why they weren't able to pull off a follow-up for their team.
Yes.
But I'm not sure though. Maybe because there are really other factors involved. But because of the strategy and the team play that Walang Sangik did, they backed down at the right moment. They pushed when it was already necessary, and Walang Sangik took that victory 2 against none. And Walang Sangik will move on to the next round.
Yes, and I think I believe that there's a bit of a miscommunication on the side of Opus Day. They're actually landing good crowd control versus WSK or Walang Sangit Ka. But again, Walang Sangit Ka actually they actually know who to target during that clash. On the side of Opus Day, I think there's kinda like a miscommunication which character to target or which character to focus on. Right? They had an advantage. They managed to disable the RK for a few seconds earlier on the clash. I think we saw that, right? But again, there's no follow-up on which target to disable or to kill on that scenario. But again,
Yes.
good job still on Opus Day, and Walang Sangit Ka moves to the next round for this
Yes,
tournament.
congratulations walang sayang ka as we are getting ready for our second match right now. I believe they're still setting up right now as they are doing so. Actually, let's just go somewhere maybe in the left side
Yeah. Let me
only
just
or left side of the map. So while they are getting ready right now, let's actually talk about what went on last weekend, or it's still the weekend. What went on this weekend? So
yeah.
again, Ragnarok Online GGH held a exhibition match, and that's the Ragnarok Asia Masters exhibition match at ESGS at SMX Convention Center, Pasay City, and yeah, we got the chance to meet the players, and some of them I even tried to interact with. Probably.
Yeah, actually they're
Yeah, they were interactive actually. I asked some questions while we were casting on stage right there. And some of them just nodded, yeah, thumbs up, okay, and that's good.
yeah.
That's about it.
Definitely they're actually cool people to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really surprised that these guys are really nice people that's really love the Ragnarok scene. And
Yes.
yeah, they appreciate everything. So I'm very happy to meet them.
Uh-huh. So actually let me recall the names of the teams that participated. Okay, so it was Ascendance, Indomies, $30 million, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Dominari,
Yeah.
mga babaero
Mhm.
and napadaan lang or yeah, those are the team names of the people that participated in our Ragnarok Asia Masters exhibition match.
Yes, like all of the games that we actually casted there was really fun, and at the same
Mhm.
time really intense as well. Um, but I just want to highlight like one match where I think that's the second match that we had, the $30 million babies. Is that right? And
30 million. Oh, it's only baby. What do you mean, baby?
oh,
CMG.
baby, sorry. My bad, my bad. But yeah, going back to that match, I think everyone is just chanting their teams. Everyone is just hype every time that somebody lands as Whistle to Destruction, or somebody is landing a Guillotine Fist, or even casting Gates of Hell. So it's really nice to have that kind of audience again back in the in the Philippines for that LAN event. So I'm pretty happy and hyped while we're casting that. So
and, and yeah, ESGS 2022. Of course, GGH or Ragnarok Online GGH had a booth right there as the NPC is now up actually, MG.
yep.
NPC is up. Click on that NPC, and of course, for the first round, we are going to follow Adonis right here. Click on the NPC, MG. What are you waiting for? Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay. So
Whoa.
this is going to be the first time actually for Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022 that we are going to see this map,
Yes.
because it was usually just the first and second map.
That's yeah. The
Mhm.
either the what do you call this? The snow or the like the
Map one or
payo.
map two? Yeah, map one or map two. That's usually the map that we spectated. Okay.
So
So
yeah.
right now, I think this is map 4, and people are actually, or for Adonis, they are going to utilize that Shadow Chaser and a Warlock. That's going to be pretty interesting. It's the same as the lineup actually of Opus Dei that we saw earlier.
Yes. So I think
Mhm.
they just want to play. I think I mean talking about like Adonis, they have a really good Warlock in War of Imperium, right? Just to be fair, that Warlock is like, I think he's very aggressive when it comes to fights as well, and he knows how to do the placement for his character on certain situations. So I'm not surprised that Adonis is gonna pick a Warlock. For Shadow Chaser,
Well,
okay,
again, War of
yeah,
Imperium is different from 7 vs 7. I'm
yes,
pretty sure our guilds or our teams have been practicing since they are qualified to participate in Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022. And I'm really curious about the lineup of Mirage Legend. Because so far, we've seen the teams from GGL actually utilizing the same type of roster, which is the wild card. We have Rune Knight and Shadow Chaser as the wild card classes for the teams that they were using.
Yes.
So, is Mirage Legend using the same type of lineup? Do they have the same seven players or seven classes being utilized for the 7 versus 7 roster?
Yes. Again, I just want to check how Adonis is gonna react on the lineup of their opponent, Mirage
Mm.
Legend. Again, I think Adonis. I'm pretty sure that we are seeing them like every War of Imperium, so I'm pretty confident that they can actually like take at least 1 point on this one, or maybe win this one, this matches. But again, Mirage Legend coming from GGL team, this is the experienced guilds that we're talking about earlier. So I think Adonis will have a hard time on reading how this guild perform in this map or execute their skills.
Mm.
So
Well,
let's
you
see.
know, MG, for the honest, it's like they've been they've been playing with a very low number of players actually, even during War of Empires. So maybe they're kind of used to having this kind of a fight. So yeah, like what I mentioned earlier, 7 versus 7 is different. You are limited to level 135 to job level 50. You have limited items that and the consumables that you can use. For example, if you are going to use genetic, you can only bring 5 acid and acid bottles and fire bottles.
Yes.
And yeah, that is we have specific restrictions that are implemented here in our 7 versus 7. So if you want to know, of course, more information about what are the mechanics, more details about Ragnarok Online, Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022, just visit roam.gnjoy.asia.
Yes, and there's actually a live call this brackets for the updated brackets. So if you want to check the standing, you can actually check it there as well.
Yes, live standing in the website Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022, and right now, I think the timer is almost done
Yes.
for the buy phase here. I want to call this the buy phase or the buying time or the buy. Yes, let's call them phases so that it sounds more nice. Well,
Yeah,
no. So
definitely.
store hours. So 2 minutes left. Okay, they wanted to call it store hours. Let's call it buy phase, buy time.
Store
But
hours. Let's go.
yeah,
Let's
for
go.
Adonis, I wanna take a quick look at their HP at the HP of their Sura.
Yeah.
So
Same.
that Sura is not going to play that dangerously low. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's planning to go for that very very low HP as well. So we need to watch out for what Adonis is going to do here in our round number 1. And later on for round number 2, we are going to spectate the Mirage Legend.
Yes. For one moment, I thought Adonis is gonna use the suicidal destruction because they're
Hmm.
kind of famous on doing that. Like they've been connecting those, that deadly combo coming from Sura and Mechanic successfully, on their WoE matches. But right now, I think they have more confidence on their Warlock versus the Mechanic.
Well, maybe they did their research, then
The
decided that
research. The
maybe
research. Yeah.
maybe a Warlock
I
is
like
better in
that. I
7
like
versus
that,
7.
James. The research.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure our teams are doing research for what roster is the best best roster to use,
Yeah.
what class is the best one to use, what items are the best gears that you can have to bring for War of Imperium. But it all depends on their team coordination, or rather 7 versus 7. It all depends on their team coordination. It all depends on their play, their type of gameplay, and what they are planning to do every match. So if they are going to play aggressive, maybe they want to opt for a different lineup. Let's actually hide our player, or let's put it down right there. So Yeah, it really depends on their play style, the type of gameplay they want to do, they want to implement for their team, and yeah, they need to synchronize their skills as well. So, for example, like what I saw that um, LN Porkchop did is, I think some of them used some full throttle.
Oh
Some of
yeah,
them used a
yeah.
full throttle for um their their party in 7 versus 7, or their guild in 7 versus 7. So it's quite different from the standard one, that you don't actually put that skill.
Mm-hmm.
So for Elm Pork Chop, I believe they have a strategy that works for them. So
Yes.
you need to synchronize with your team. You need to synchronize with the players you are playing with, in order for you to, have better team coordination and dominate your opponent in a 7 versus 7 match.
Yes. So I think let's see how coordinated Adonis is for a 7v7 match. Same goes with Mirage Legend. So right now Adonis is moving on the south side of this map. And let's try to check. We're not seeing a quick land protector coming from Adonis at the moment. I think they're just trying to scout first, which is I think that's one of the best things to do. You need to know the position first of your opponent before casting any land protector.
And Datsura has already spotted where Mirage
Oh,
Legend is. As you are seeing Adonis, they are nowhere to be found. So let's follow Mirage Legend right now. I think Adonis actually went the other way around. Where is Adonis actually going to meet Mirage Legend right here?
oh,
Let's
they're
see
using
what
a
they will
ranger.
do. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, Mirage Legend is actually utilizing a Ranger and a Warlock. A pretty bold lineup right there. Camouflage getting casted by a Ranger, and you can see they are utilizing that Shadow Chaser to actually scout things around for Mirage Legend. Actually, let's go down for a little bit right there, and let's put everyone on the map. No, 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 just follow Mirage Legend, but let's put everyone on the map right here. Mirage Legend, what are they planning to do? Maybe Adonis is just waiting for them in a corner. They are waiting for them to strike, and they're just taking their time. They want Adonis to bring the battle to their side.
Yes, I think right now, either Adonis is gonna do a sneaky quick attack, or they're just waiting their opponents to go to their side. So I think because earlier we saw, okay, so I think the Sura of Adonis is aware that right now Mirage Legends is sitting at the north side of this map.
But you can see here that Mirage Legend, they are playing a little bit safe because they are utilizing that Ranger. They want to play it a little bit more safe right here, but that Ranger is the first one going in, maybe baiting out the team of Adonis. And you can see that Sura is just standing there. For some
Ooh,
reason, he's just standing there. Well,
five
Mirage
minutes.
Legend is just going to try and hold their ground right there,
Well,
as Adonis is.
oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
And to
Uh.
be fair, this is
Ooh.
kind of different strategy coming from these two guilds right now. Because what we have seen before, like the two guilds are very aggressive. They just want to hit each other right away. But on the side of Mirage Legend and Adonis, they just want to take their time, you know. So this is something
Yes.
different.
Well, really something different for these two teams. I think they
Okay, here
want
we
to
go.
take the fight to their side, but you can see there's a trap there at the side of Adonis. What is Mirage Legend planning to do? Shadow Chaser just going in, and Gates of Hell will actually
Oh,
land and
okay,
connect on
quick
the Shadow
frost.
Chaser, and you can see Mirage Legend.
One
A
down.
lot of them are frozen. I think that crazy
Here we go.
wind
They
did
need
a
to
lot
punish
of
now.
wonders for them. Storm gets getting casted on the floor. Masquerade, of course, will try and
First circle.
disable or
Oh,
debuff some of the opponents here of Adonis. Mirage Legend is getting taken down one by one.
three
That
Mirage
Warlock
Legends
is
now.
in trouble,
Four.
just casting Soul Expansion. And look at the Warlock of Adonis
Yes.
as well, just
It's just free
counter.
casting.
Just countering what that Warlock of Mirage Legend is doing as well. And you can see the Sorcerer of Adonis is also casting that Spell Breaker, which is rarely utilized in a 7 versus 7 third job match. But Guillotine Fist will land not enough to take down that Archbishop. But Pinpoint Attack, of course, more DPS to take down Mirage Legend, as Adonis is going to take game number 1 or round number 1 here in our best of 3 series.
Yes, that's actually a quite interesting setup there coming from Adonis and Mirage Legend. They just want to start slowly, but when Adonis actually hit their range perfectly, they immediately went to damage and dispel everyone. And that Sork is actually doing it, like preventing anyone to cast, or even he's actually doing a dispel as well to the enemies.
Well, I think Adonis just timed their skills right at that time. Of course, both teams were waiting for the opportunity to strike. They're just waiting the other team to actually do something before they actually proceed with what's going on. But again, for Mirage Legend, maybe they got a little bit too aggressive right there. Their Shadow Chaser extended for a little bit. That's why he got caught by Adonis. That Gates of Hell actually eliminated that Shadow Chaser from Mirage Legend very, very quickly. And again, the timing that Adonis did earlier, removing the Land Protector of Mirage Legend, then hitting them with a skill that makes them freeze. All right, I'm not sure what skill hit him, but we are going to review the clips later on. But
Yes.
maybe it's a Stormgust, maybe someone casted a Frost joke. So yeah, we are going to review the clips. Again, we cannot spot everything what we see on screen, but we are, of course, trying our best. And now, for round number 2, we are going to follow the perspective of Mirage Legend right here.
Yes. So right now, I think Mirage Legends knows that one of the key players right now on the side of Adonis is the Warlock. So I'm not sure if on the side of Mirage Legend, if they're gonna do a quick counter to disable that Warlock immediately, or even the Sura of Adonis. The Sura of Adonis is he's actually kind of versatile. He can actually do a utility role. At the same time, we are seeing him casting that Gates of Hell on top of those very low HP. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what Mirage Legend is planning to do right here because they have that Ranger. And I think that Ranger is planning to do a lot of DPS because if you can see the headgears of that Ranger, it's a more focused for
Physical?
DPS.
Yeah, physical DPS.
For physical damage, yeah. So I'm not sure what they're planning to do. We haven't seen them utilize that Ranger that much as of yet, but we might be seeing it in round number 2. Again, they are going to plan things out. They have seen what the other characters or their opponents are using. They know how their opponents play. So maybe if Mirage Legend plays a little bit more passive and wait for Adonis to go in to their stack, maybe that will be better for them. Because earlier, Mirage Legend played a little bit too aggressively. Their Shadow Chaser overextended to the stack there of Adonis. That's why that Shadow Chaser got eliminated.
Yes.
And after that, it was all downhill from there. So
Yes.
maybe in the second round, Mirage Legend knows what they did wrong and will adjust accordingly here in round number 2.
Definitely. And I really like the lineup of Mirage Legend. It's actually a mix-up of physical and magic as well. So I think if they really wanted to opt out for a physical damage, they have the Sura, and at the same time the Ranger as well to dish out that physical damage. But if they actually seeing that there's an opportunity to cast those magics, they have the Warlock on for that positioning. So yeah.
Yes, as the buy phase or the store hours is closed right now. We are heading on to round number 2. The match will start in a minute right here. They have 1 minute to cast their buffs, and as you can see, they are going to get prepared for the round or the second round right here. And I'm pretty curious on what they're planning to do with their Ranger for Mirage Legends.
Okay.
Yes, as Mirage Legend is of course getting all set and ready for this match.
Yes. Okay. So I think we're not seeing like a red HP Sura right now.
Yes, no red HP Sura for these teams
Oh,
as I think it is only
no Sura.
Adonis.
Yeah.
There's
Only
only Adonis who played with that red HP Sura.
Yes.
And
So I
for
think this is
Mirage
the
Legend,
wild card that we're talking about, James.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
the wild card
It's
that we're
it's a
talking
really
about.
wild class, and I'm not sure how they will use that class to really dominate their opponent in 7 vs 7. Because again, this is the first time that we've seen a GGL team use a different type of roster. Because we've seen them utilize that Rune Knight and Shadow Chaser really, really well. But maybe for this team, for Mirage Legend, they experience what went on. Of course, GGL has a lot more experience in 7 vs 7 because from what I know, they've been doing this for years.
Yes, I think this is the comfort class on the side of Mirage Legend. So I'm really excited on how they can actually pull it
Oh,
off. But right now,
yeah.
you have the Sura coming from Adonis, scouting ahead. That's actually good. Like, the more information that you have on your opponent regarding their positioning, the more opportunity for you to counter or even do a sneak attack versus their current positioning on the map.
As you can see, Mirage Legend is just going to stay in the same spot that they did earlier. Maybe they're just going to wait for Adonis to go here instead of trying to push them from somewhere else.
Yes. And I think
Mhm.
on the side of Mirage as well, they are doing their own scouts, so that's actually good. They want to know the positioning of Adonis because earlier I think they're kind of surprised where Adonis is, and right now both teams are aware about the positioning of the two guilds. So let's see if Adonis will take the first initiation here, or Mirage will be pushing and punishing Adonis on their push.
Let's see, they have that blockade, of course, in the front. Shadow Chase of Adon is just trying to scout around and look and see that Mirage Legend wants to be a little bit more aggressive here. They are trying to connect that Land Protector as we need to see what's happening. Go down for a little bit right there, MG. We cannot see what's happening for a whole team, but you can see the Royal Guard of
Oh,
Mirage Legend getting taken down, and you can see that Adonis is going to play with fire. That Sura, I think, is still playing with very low HP, just trying to take down the members of Mirage Legend one by one. Close confine getting casted by Adonis right here, locking up the members of Mirage Legend, and Adonis is leading in terms of numbers. They have that Sorcerer for Mirage Legend, and I think the Shadow Chaser as well. And that
yes.
Sorcerer of Mirage Legend. Oh, they have that Ranger and that Minstrel. So there's 3 more players there for Mirage Legend, and for Adonis, I'm not
Oh.
really sure what
Yes,
they're trying
actually,
to do.
they still have like
Sacrifice,
a
getting
3 players.
casted.
Okay,
Hits
one.
of Fail
Whoa!
will take down that Minstrel, and you can see Arrow Storm. So that Ranger's really is a DPS Arrow
Yes.
Storm, but of course that Sura will just cast that Numa and Gates of Hell to eliminate that Ranger coming from Mirage Legend, and I think that Sorcerer is the only one left. Adonis is down to 3 members, but Mirage Legend is down to 1. Sorcerer is the only one left. Diamond Dust will get casted, and that Shadow Chaser will cause debuffs, and
Ooh.
Guillotine Fist to finish this round as Adonis is going to win round number 2.
Nice. That's actually a good performance coming on the side of Adonis. Like a good read as well on the side on their team. They know what to punish and what to do in certain scenarios. In the same time, on the side of Mirage Legends, I mean, the effort was really good. The effort was really good. They actually almost won that fight versus Adonis. So yeah.
And again, Mirage Legend played with a different kind of meta. They
Yeah, and
used
I like
that
the confidence
Ranger.
there. Yep.
Mhm. And it's kind of different, and I'm not really sure. Maybe they have a different plan for their lineup. Of course, Arrow Storm can only do so much damage. I don't know if you have enough equipment here for our 7 vs 7 gears to
Mm-hmm.
actually cause a lot of Arrow Storm damage, but maybe they have computed everything, they have something in mind, but they weren't able to execute it properly. That's why they really had a hard time pursuing or finishing off Adonis there in that round number 2 as well.
Yes. But again, that's a great match coming from these two guilds, and congratulations to Adonis. They're actually moving on the next round, and good effort on the side of Mirage Legend. Still a good fight.
Yes, very good fight coming from these two teams. As MG, actually,
Hmm.
you know what's going on right now? The next match will be between. Come on, MG, explain it to our audience.
Yeah, so our next match is gonna be like the teams, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
so for the teams that we're gonna have for our next match, it's gonna be Dominari versus Constellation. There you go.
And this is a different Dominaria team from, the one who battled Harist Guild.
Yeah.
Or Harist, Harist Guild. So this is a different Dominari team. So again, Dominari, we are going to see them play now because we haven't got a chance to actually see, you know, they're a different guild or they're a different team. But seeing a Dominari team play in 7 versus 7, we haven't seen that yet in Ragnarok Asia Masters.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I think this is gonna be a different setup coming from this Dominari team versus GGL guild, which is Constellation. So let's see. I mean, is Dominari gonna use the mechanic for this one, or are they gonna opt out again for a Warlock Shadow Chaser? So I'm kind of curious about their strategy for this round.
Okay. Right. And yeah, I think both teams are just getting all set right now as a Dominari and Constellation. I like the name of the team here of Constellation. I like the name. Constellation?
Constellation. Yeah, it's actually
Uh-huh.
oof.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's really refreshing to see uh, a new unique name for me. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and the same time, guys. Speaking of brackets, actually, you can actually check the live brackets at roam.gnjoy.asia. You can actually check all the matches there and the winners who actually advance on their uh, on their matches as well. So earlier we saw that's actually Opus Dei versus Walang Sangit Ka, and they actually advanced, and Adonis versus Mirage, the one that we had earlier, and Adonis advanced. And right now we're gonna have Dominari versus Constellation. Again, check our website roam.gnjoy.asia for more information about the brackets and the matches.
Yes. And of course, for GGH, we have a Razor Gold promotion. So, MG,
Yes.
tell it. Explain it to us right now.
Yes. Speaking of Razor Gold promotion. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just pull it off. But before that, let me just check the teams. Okay, 1 second there. There you go.
All right.
Hello,
And
yeah.
as MG is trying to pull up that Razor Gold promotion, I'm not sure what's happening to MG right now. He's kind of lost for a little bit right there.
Yeah.
Maybe he got lost in the constellation.
Constellation, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, I like the
anyways,
name.
going back. Let me just go back to that promotion again. We have a promotion, an ongoing promotion right now. So from October 1 to October 31st, right? Recharge your GEnjoy account via Racer Gold wallet and get in-game items such as Gothic Pumpkin Head costume or Ghost Bat costume for free. For October promotions, you will get the following. For Tier 1, that's going to be 5,000 KP with Razer Gold Wallet. And you can actually score a Gothic Pumpkin Head costume. And of course, for Tier 2, that's 30,000 KP with Razer Gold Wallet. You can score a Ghost Bat costume. And if you want to know more about this promotion, you can go and head to our Discord or to our website, official website. So there you go.
Yes, or of course you can just type in www.gnjoy.asia/top-up.
Yes.
All right, if you
There
want to
go.
top up immediately using that website. Anyway, just a quick reminder to all the players right here: the use of third-party software is against the terms of service of ROGGH and is sanctionable. And again, a lot of things are going on, and the promotion of Razer Gold will only be some sweetness to it. All right. And as
Yes.
we are waiting for our teams to get ready right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we are just trying to confirm a few things right here. But as the teams are just getting all set right now, we are going to take on a short break. When we come back, it's going to be the match between Dominari versus Constellation. So stick around, stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a bit.
Okay.
Back here at the Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022. Once again, we are casters. My name is James.
And my name is MG. Let's go!
Yes, let's go right there. And as you can see right now, we are giving away codes that you can redeem for awesome prizes.
Nice.
So for GGH, players are watching right there. Someone is waiting for the codes actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually someone commented earlier. I hope MG puts out the codes.
Who said that? Who said that?
I'm waiting for MG to put codes on stream.
Okay, there you go.
Maybe that's Alan. Maybe it's
Alan.
Maybe, I don't know.
Our residential
because
code snatcher.
Yeah, because last time it was him who commented that.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So for the next match, let's actually talk about the next match first. So this is Dominati and Constellation. And based on the comment right here, coming from Atoy, this is Domi Purple. Ooh, that's interesting. Domi Purple versus Constellation. And
Oof.
let's see what Dominati does in this matchup. Of course, this is the first time that we are going to see them participate in Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022, or rather here in the stream for Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022.
Yes.
And Constellation, their name is kind of unique.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they have a unique type of gameplay. They have a unique type of game style to actually bring to us later on, of course, when the match starts.
Yes. Again, it's gonna be an interesting match. You mentioned that this is gonna be a Dominari Purple. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Dominari Purple. If we're talking about Dominari Purple, they're actually kind of famous on the suicidal destruction as well, and those arcades as well. So if Dominari is gonna pull off those classes, that's gonna be really good. I think that's those classes are their comfort classes right now. Right, on the side of Constellation, we still don't have any like the lineups yet, but again, talking about GGL guilds, the guilds that's actually lined for the Ragnarok Asia Masters, most of them are very experienced when it comes to 7v7. So
Let's actually show the different type of screen right now. Okay.
there you go.
And make sure to relax. Just chill, guys. Just chill. The match is going to start in just a bit, so make sure to stay tuned because the teams are just getting ready. They're just grouping up right now, and just wait for a bit. The match will start in just a bit. So yeah, this is Dominari versus Constellation. This is match number 3, and immediately after this match, I'm pretty sure match number 4 is going to go on, and yeah, we are making sure that every match is going to be streamed for tonight. All right.
And the same time, it's actually the player's request to have like some extra. I think some extended preparation for at least like 2 to 5 minutes. Yeah, I think they just want to make sure that everything is properly set up for their characters. Because again, this is gonna be an elimination round. Once you got eliminated, there's no lower bracket for this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is making sure all items are good, the builds are good as well. So I think this is gonna be interesting because again, we've waited for a few minutes, so definitely it's gonna be an intense fight versus Dominari versus Constellation.
And we have a question right here, actually coming from Jacob. Actually, he said James and what? James, I think it's James and MG. What is your favorite standard class in 7v7? We've mentioned this a lot of times. I believe here for 7v7, there is a different play style for every type of roster that you are going to use. But I believe for 7v7, in my type of gameplay, I believe of course, you have that standard 5 classes, which is the Royal Guard, Sorcerer, Minstrel, Archbishop, and Sura. Then the wild class will be that Genetic, and probably a Rune Knight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think most of the players right now coming from on the side of GGH.
Actually, you need to answer the question of Jake. I'm waiting.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting for you to answer the question though.
I just want to point out first that most of the players right now on GGH, they're actually running a very standard lineup wherein they're putting the Shadow Chaser and the what do you call this, the Warlock. But if I'm gonna be sitting under coaching maybe or setting the lineup, I would really go for maybe a Shadow Chaser, then a Mechanic. I think that's gonna be my lineup.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be
Yes.
interesting. Similar to what LM Pork Shop actually did. So it's a
Yes.
similar lineup as LM Pork Shop, but I think it's going to be similar to Dominari as well, because again they have that mechanic. So
Yes.
maybe we'll see a Shadow Chaser pop up right about now, as you can hide the screen for a little bit right there, MG.
Yep.
All right, so maybe yeah, they have this roster that you like.
Yes.
All right.
Again, like I mentioned earlier, if this is Dominari Purple, they're actually very famous on the Suicidal Destruction. On their lineup before, they have like multiple mechanics, and the win rate for this lineup, like what they had on the WoE before this, is actually really high. So I'm not surprised right now that they are opting for a Suicidal Destruction combo build. So again, if we're going to check the Sura as well, the Sura might go for an offensive semi-utility type, and definitely for the mechanic, he just want to catch that quick stack and land that SD on top of those players.
And Suicidal Destruction again is going to be very deadly, but it's also a high risk, high reward play. Of course, you want that Destruction to land on at least 2 or 3 players from the opposing team. For your Sura to do something a little bit less than playing with very low HP.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, maybe there is going to be a different lineup for Dominari. Let's see what they are planning to do. Maybe they can pull off a whole team wide, probably. That's possible.
Yes, and I think he just want to catch the core players or core characters on this Suicidal Destruction. For example, like if I'm gonna be on the shoes of that mechanic, I would really go for the sword and the Sura. That's actually my top priority for that Suicidal Destruction, because if you can actually eliminate that Sork right away plus that Sura, I mean your chances of winning is gonna go really high, versus on eliminating just the Minstrel and AB maybe. So yeah, Warlock, Sorcerer, and Sura. That's gonna be the two key classes that he needs to eliminate right away.
But I think though, if they want to stop that mechanic from actually reaching their stack, they need a Warlock in their lineup. So later in a bit, we will see the lineup of Constellation, but I'm pretty sure they have a pretty good lineup as well. Maybe uh, a different kind of class, because we've seen Mirage Legend pull
Yes.
off a Ranger gameplay. Not really pull off.
There's actually no Sura on their lineup.
They actually just used a Ranger in the lineup, which is pretty different for a team. And it's the first for a GGL team to actually have a changed roster or a different roster.
Yes.
So maybe we will see the standard Shadow Chaser and Rune Knight for Constellation. And of course here for Dominati, we have that mechanic, we have that Shadow Chaser as their wildcard classes. And if they have that crazy weed, of course, for the Shadow Chaser as a copied skill, they can remove that Lamp Protector really quickly. They can go in, proceed with their other skills that are going to disable their opponents. Then maybe that Suicidal Destruction or that mechanic can easily go in and use that.
Yes. Again, this is gonna be an interesting match between these two guilds right now. So again, this match is gonna be Dominari versus Constellation. This is gonna be their first match, and we're about to be transferred or warped into the
The starting point,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, okay, just a reminder as well. The streams will only be for since Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022 is going on. The streams will only be on Tuesday for War of Imperium, Wednesday Ragnarok Asia Masters, and Sunday Ragnarok Asian Masters.
Yes.
So what the War of Imperium every Saturday is not going to be streamed. So yeah, and yesterday actually was pretty crazy here in the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah,
From where we're at, it's pretty crazy. I can't tell you how crazy it was, but it was an experience actually.
yeah. It's. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's really good. I mean, it's really good. Like, I mean, the whole event or the whole.
Actually, yeah, the whole exhibition match event
That's
was
yeah.
pretty amazing.
And
And the post the post events were pretty amazing as well. You know what's happening, what's going on outside, and yeah, for people in the Philippines, of course, for please stay safe. Of course, there's a typhoon, or hopefully the rains have stopped in your place. And yeah, it was pretty amazing.
crazy, crazy.
Crazy. It was pretty crazy actually yesterday here in the Philippines. We're at, but of course, a lot of gamers are still there as round number one is going to start here for match number three, Dominati versus Constellation. Let's see what Constellation lineup going to be. Mechanic is just keeping his position for Dominati. They're just trying to back off, wait for the right kind of lineup, and you can see that Shadow Chaser is pinging where their opponents are at. So let's see where Dominar is going to go. They are quite aggressive in actually casting that Land Protector to take position, and they have that Runite for Constellation. As you can see, Dragon's Breath getting casted, just pre-casting that on the ground, making sure to catch someone probably. So maybe they have. So
There
Constellation
were
has
Runite.
that Shadow Chaser as well. So right now, Constellation wants to go in, and Land Protector on the floor here for Dominari got
Be
removed.
careful.
What are they going to do? You can see that Archbishop of Dominari is sleeping right now, and Dominari just started to go in. Suraker's Circle landed actually on Constellation, but Constellation still has DPS members left. That Royal Guard, Runite, and Sorcerer is still up and
That's
running, along
sustained.
with that Minstrel, Shadow Chaser, and Archbishop as well. But I don't think the other classes for Constellation is up and running. For that mechanic, they already popped that Suicidal Destruction for Dominati, and now he's going in for that high-speed cart ram or cart termination. What you might call it as
Yes.
Dominati, I think. Still, oh no, they still have full numbers here for Dominati, as they are just going to try and chase away or chase the remaining members of Constellation. They have six or
Here we
probably
go.
five.
Curse
Circle
circle.
will land, but no follow-up,
Here we go.
unfortunately. Coming from Dominari right there,
Big
they
Lex.
were a little bit too late, but Diamond Dust will connect. I think someone got taken down right there. Rune Knight is actually stiff. They have no headgear right here, and it's going to be trouble right now for Consolation. Dominati is just trying to go in. Dragon's Breath is landing
Here we go.
on the stack there of Dominati. Dominati is still a complete squad right now. Sorcerers just trying to land something. Dragon's Breath is just going to cast right there. Faint Bomb is going to cast as well. Masquerade getting cast. Diamond Dust will land.
Whoa!
And no, Gates
Gates
of
of
Hell
Hell?
will connect. Rune Knight is getting targeted, but that Sorcerer is still alive. I think coming from no, Constellation
Yeah.
Sorcerer is
Okay,
down,
one down.
and that the Shadow Chaser and the Rune Knight are the only players left, I think, for Constellation, as Dominati still has a lot of players left. 7 members remaining, and I don't think they can do much here with that Shadow Chaser and Rune Knight, because every member of Dominati is still complete.
I
As
think the Runette got eliminated as well. He got hit by that Gates of Hell. And I think
he
right.
probably got hit though.
Yeah, yeah.
We just didn't see him because they were positioning themselves in a different spot.
Yeah, that's actually
But
like a choke point spot there coming from Constellation. They don't have any room for quick maneuver.
as Consolation, Shadow Chaser is just trying to survive.
Yeah.
He's just trying to survive and maybe try to do something right there. But I don't think that Shadow Chaser of Consolation can do anything else, as that round is going to be over. They got warped back, of course, to the buying area or the buy phase.
Yeah.
Okay. as Dominari will take round number 1 against
Yes.
Constellation. Ooh, GGH is a...
Yeah. Just imagine like our first session last Wednesday, like 3 guilds coming from GGL managed to take the slot, and right now
Yeah,
GGH is showing their skills on the
mhm.
7v7 scene. So congratulations on
Yes.
their first win, Dominari. Let's
Yes,
go.
actually, this is the hype right now. GGH versus GGL in the elimination rounds of Ragnarok Asia Masters 2022. And Dominati already scored their first point against Constellation right there. It was a little bit sloppy coming from Dominati because Constellation positioned themselves well upon knowing that Dominari is playing with that mechanic for suicidal destruction.
Yes. I think it's actually a even match earlier, right? It's just I think on the side of Constellation they're kind of spread out
Yeah.
on
And
the mid part
actually,
of the game.
for Dominari though, that Sura from Dominari landed that curse circle, but the follow-up was a little bit too
Yeah,
late.
it's actually late.
But actually, they capitalized on that because Constellation didn't move as that curse circle's effect ended.
Mm-hmm.
Someone got killed with a diamond dust coming from that sorcerer of Dominari.
Yes, and
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure a
Mhm.
Gates of Hell followed that diamond dust.
there's actually a good damage coming from Dominaria versus Constellation, and I think what Constellation did there, they actually paddled back on that upper left corner, wherein they got really stuck there and got pinpoint those key players, and that's why I think that's why it resulted into a wipe coming from Constellation. So I think they need to check the positioning that they have on the map, and the same time if they're gonna be scattered, I think they're trying to avoid that suicidal destruction. That's why they're trying to scatter around, I think. But again, they need to be careful on the Sura of Dominari, because that Sura is very aggressive, and if he saw any opportunity, he will take it immediately, and he will capitalize on that. So yeah.
Yes, and you just need to capitalize on the mistakes that your opponent are committing. Because if you capitalize on the mistakes, that's where you can get the advantage.
Yep.
That's where you can get the benefit of in probably taking down a member of your opposing team, or maybe getting your debuffs landing
Mm-hmm.
on your opponents. So they just need to capitalize on the mistakes that their opponents are doing, and for them to get the advantage every round. And for Constellation though, they need to wait for Dominati to commit a mistake. And earlier, Dominati made this mistake because again, that suicidal destruction didn't land on a lot of players. Maybe it eliminated one or two, because I still saw a lot of players coming from Constellation. But Dominati capitalized on that. They're still not done. That
Yeah.
mechanic was still casting the high speed card ram, which I believe causes high damage as well. Because
Yes.
if you have a full cart, if you have decent stats for you to pull off a high speed card ram, then you know it can cause heavy damage along with that Gates of Hell. And Dominari didn't lose a single member that round.
Yes. And what I like about the strategy of Dominari right now, it's actually kind of safe. You're not, for me, James, I'm not actually feeling that the suicidal destruction is kind of like the only skill that they need to land. Because earlier we saw that mechanic hitting the Archbishop, and he managed to kill it solo. So I think the value of the mechanic is kind of good as well, and it's playing pretty well on the side of Dominari. While on the side of a Constellation, we understand that they're trying to avoid that suicidal destruction right away. But again, good pressure on the side of the Rune Knights. The Rune Knight that we have, good pressure. But again, they need to pinpoint and take down one character at a time.
And this is right now, guys, MG defending his favorite lineup, that mechanic plus the Shadow
Yeah.
Chaser.
Sorry guys, it's actually my
It's a-
favorite class.
yeah, he's
But it's kind of
actually
risky. It's
mechanic
really risky.
biased.
Really,
He likes
really
the suicidal
risky.
destruction. That's MG's new favorite skill.
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll.
Alright.
Like, I'm gonna reroll.
Yeah. And you know what? Actually, since it's still back to the buy phase right now for our players. I wanna, I want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. So just a minute, just a minute. So just someone just got stuck for a bit right there, but the match will start in a minute. So I'll just tell the story later on, maybe probably after this round.
Okay, yeah, fair
So
enough.
yeah, right now it's Dominari versus Consolation. This is round number 2 with Dominari scoring their first point, and Consolation still has none. Let's see what will happen in round number 2. And Consolation still rocking the Runite plus Shadow Chaser. And for Dominari, I believe they still have that mechanic in their lineup. And this is
Yes.
map 4. Map 4 is pretty spacious. You can get a lot of space, take a lot of space. But, you know, if that mechanic is really, really aggressive, maybe he can land a suicidal destruction at a very, very awkward spot and probably eliminate a lot of players coming from Consolation. But Dominari is playing it a little bit safe.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that their mechanic is a no.
Wait, what?
They actually eliminated. They actually opted for a Warlock for the
Oh,
Dominari.
that's
So
actually
again,
good.
you can change your class every after round.
It's actually good. Like regarding the
Huh?
spacing of this map, it's you don't have like a very good choke point where you can land that suicidal destruction immediately, unless you can connect a curse circle. But right now, Dominari is playing very aggressive, and the Constellation is just defending their ground right here. And most of their members are kind of stuck. They're not actually moving, but on the side of Dominari, they're just trying to flank in. They're trying to pick off one player at a time, and Dominari trying to go at the AB right now. The Warlock. Let's go ahead and check the Warlock. If are we gonna see a quick attack?
No. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they are hitting each other. I think they got what do you call this debuff by
Debuff.
their opponents, but Dominari is just getting scattered right here. Datsuru is trying to pick off some players here, coming from Dominari to Consolation, and that Lex Eterna. Will there be a follow-up Gates of Hell right there
They're
as
trying to run.
Constellation are losing their members one by one. As you can see, that Sorcerer will go down right there.
Here we
Royal
go.
Guard of Constellation is frozen. That Runite just casting those kills, but it's pretty hard actually to land a Dragon's Breath without that Minstrel.
Yes.
You know, giving you magic strings.
Yes. So I think right
And
now it's a 6v2 currently, or a 6v1 right now. It's just the Shadow Chaser. They need to finish it off.
yes, and you know, I really like the positioning of that minstrel. I like how the minstrel of Dominari positioned himself really, really well. He
Yeah.
made sure to cast that magic strings where there is no constellation member.
Yes.
So Dominari actually brought a different kind of strategy here in you know, our matchup for against Constellation right here, because they actually changed one of their wild card players into something else, which is a Warlock. They opted for the Warlock at the first match because probably it was a dice roll, and they don't know which map they are going to go up. And yeah, map 4 apparently is the one that got chosen. And at the second at the second round, just like what we saw, they opted for that Warlock because they know that they can probably dish out more damage. They can probably, zone things out because the Shadow Chaser, I think, copied a Crazy Weed to eliminate that Land Protector for them to land that Storm Gust to freeze their opponents, or probably a lot more AoE skills.
Yes.
And yeah, Dominari, congratulations. Dominari won 2 against none, and GGH. They're already
Let's go.
2-1, right?
2-1, yeah. 2-1.
Tonight. Uh-huh.
But again, props
2-1
to
for GGH.
Constellation. Constellation actually showed a really good match there. They actually had like a quick counter, but apparently Dominari was really composed on the scenario that happened there, and they immediately counter. And they're actually not letting Constellation to react or to think any strategy to counter Dominari's aggressiveness. And especially with that Warlock, that's actually a really wild card. Like on the set of the match, they actually changed their mechanic into a Warlock, giving them extra space for the damage and the same time for AoEs as well. So that's actually a good pick off coming from Dominaria Reaper's Constellation.
Yes, a good matchup right there. Congratulations again to Dominari for moving on to the next round. Again, it's only a best of three matchup with, there is no losers bracket. It's only single elimination. So congratulations again to the teams who actually won already tonight. It's Walang Sangika 2-0, Adonis 2-0, and Dominari 2-0 as well. And they're all 2-0 actually.
Yeah,
They're all 2-0.
we don't have that 1-1
Mhm.
fight, you know.
Uh-huh.
So
And you can see the next match will be Nonsense versus MG. Scroll down for a bit.
that's gonna be let's pull it up. There you go.
Nonsense versus Nagahita.
Nagahitam.
Uh-huh. Actually, this match is going to be interesting as well because if Nonsense wins this against Nagahitam, this is going to be our first GGH versus GGH match in round number or the second round of this bracket. Because we already have a GGL versus GGL if you want to scroll up right there, MG.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's Obliviate versus Howl of Tarask. So we'll see a GGL versus GGL match right there. So it's just an the same guild from GGL. But you know what's going on right now is GGH versus GGL. GGH wants to prove something against GGL, but GGL they want to prove their experience as well to GGH teams because again, GGL has a lot more experience in 7 versus 7.
Yes, actually, I think GGH did their homework. Like they actually watch a lot of replays maybe on our last session for our first matches. So that's why GGH came prepared for this matchup. So,
Yeah, they probably did, and they practiced. They practiced a lot because again, watching your maybe the other guilds
play.
fight,
Yeah,
you can get more strategies. You can
Exactly.
get the wings how things play out. All right. So again, 7 versus 7, you need a lot more team coordination. Of course, you need practice for that, for you to be a lot more synchronized. And like what I mentioned earlier, you need to synchronize your items as well.
Yes.
Your skills that you are going to place, like
Yes.
what Ellen Porkchop did for that full throttle. And for Nonsense and Nagahitam, Nonsense, based on what we see from them in War of Imperium, they're pretty passive. But maybe
Defensive.
here,
Full
passive
defense.
and defensive,
Yes.
not really pushing onto the fights. But maybe here in 7 versus 7, it's going to be different for Nonsense.
Yes. So actually, the strategy or the play style that Dunson is showing to us, like on the previous session, it could actually work. Yeah, if they're gonna be like very defensive and reactive as well, if they know how to counter properly on certain scenarios, or maybe if there's gonna be like a Donis Mirage Legend spacing, like waiting time on the before engagement, maybe they can actually opt out for a quick push. Like we know Nonsense on the first fights that we saw them, that they're actually doing the portal bobs. Maybe they can actually go for a quick curse circle maybe, and I think they're gonna use a mechanic.
We don't know. We'll see later on or in just a bit as the teams are probably getting ready right now, right, MG? And yeah, I want to explain that Nagahitam, someone actually explained it here in the chat. So
Oh.
Nagahitam means black dragon.
Oh,
Kinda. So
It's-
based
it's-
on the name, it's
it's
kind of
really-
scary to go up against
is that a Nagahita?
Nagahita.
To be fair, that's kind of like a badass name. To be fair, Nagahita. So I really like that. Okay, Nonsense versus the
Yes.
black dragon, right?
Yes, Nagahitam is Black Dragon as Nonsense. We are going to follow them right now. They are the first ones up on the stage here in the stream. But as the teams are on their buy phase, they are getting ready. Maybe I'm going to proceed with my story, MG.
Okay, before I talk about their lineup, go. What's the story, James? Let me know. Go.
All right. So, yeah, I actually forgot because you just you just spoiled it. You just ruined it for me, MG.
Sorry, sorry.
All right.
I was really excited about their lineup because
Uh-huh.
it's really
Yeah, I know. It's one of the things that you wanted to say because it's your favorite kind of lineup. Again, okay, so let's proceed with the lineup first. All right,
okay.
MG.
Sorry about that, James. Okay, going back to the lineup, guys. Okay, right now we're actually seeing nonsense on your screen, but let me go ahead and show it. So right now they're using a mechanic plus they're using a warlock. So they're doing a heavy damage, a very greedy lineup, I think. What do you think about that, James?
Well, I'm not going to call it greedy. I'm going to call it aggressive.
Aggressive. Okay. Okay.
Again,
Okay.
that warlock can be defensive as well. Don't
Yeah.
forget about the skill white imprison. You can lock up a single target with that white imprison. So if you time it right, if you time your support skills right,
Okay.
if that minstrel is not only casting that magic strings and casting more skills, of course, to support his team, they will probably pull it off. But again, it's going to be quite different.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is a different lineup for nonsense right here. Let's see
I
if they
like
can
it.
pull off
Yeah.
this kind of aggressive type of lineup.
Yes. So I'm pretty excited for this match. Like how they are, how the warlock will position his character on the fights at the same time with the suicidal destruction. Are we gonna see an immediate SD if the storm gust connects maybe or a curse circle maybe? So yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah,
excited for
so
this.
yeah, but maybe the lineup of Nagahitam can actually counter the
Yeah,
lineup there
yeah,
of
that's
nonsense.
actually what I'm thinking. And it depends on the map as well. Earlier, I think one of the reasons why Dominaris opted out for a mechanic to a warlock because of this of the map as well. Because it's an open field map, there's no choke points, and I think the Sura on the side of Dominari is basically focused on DPS or taking out the players versus on the curse circle side.
Yeah, well, anything can happen actually for these two teams because right now we haven't seen the lineup yet of Nagahitam. If they have a warlock as well, that mechanic can get locked up.
Yeah.
If they have the shadow chaser, that lamp protector can get removed really quickly. But the problem here for nonsense is that they don't have a shadow chaser, they don't have a genetic, they cannot remove that lamp protector quickly. So it all depends on that what sorcerer is going to do. So if that sorcerer is aggressive as well, just eliminating that lamp protector or putting up that lamp protector in the place of the lamp protector of his opponent, you
Yeah.
can remove that. You can cancel out each other's magnetic earth.
Yes.
Or if that mechanic goes in first, eliminates the key players there of Nagahitam, it can actually also work for nonsense. That warlock can put more skills down and dish out more damage. But again, that warlock can also be a support type of warlock.
Yes.
So don't forget about that.
I agree. I agree. So again, it depends on their execution and the situation, most probably, right? So we still have like few seconds. There you go. So let's go ahead and wait for our game master to start the game.
Yes,
There we go.
and I believe the round has started. As you can see, nonsense just moving around. We have that sorcerer just going in first. They're pretty confident on what they're doing, as you can see right there. The sorcerer is the first one actually going in. They don't have scouts. That Sura is just playing a little bit safe, but he is trying to scout things out, just going up and down to see if there are people somewhere.
Yes.
So where are their opponents, Nagahita? Where is Nagahita? Maybe there's somewhere that nonsense haven't seen it. So they are just going to try and scope things out. They are going to move not really slowly. They're moving really, really quickly right now.
Yes.
And
Oh,
I
this
can
is actually a
say,
good place there. Like this is a
Mhm.
very choke area.
and maybe MG, you can try and catch up with Nonsense right here, as they might meet Nagahitam.
Yep.
As you know, Nagahitam, I'm not sure where they are, but since we are following Nonsense, that Sura is just scouting around to spot where Nagahitam is. And you don't need to scout MG, don't worry.
Oh,
Okay, so we saw a member of Nagahitam right there, but Nonsense, of course, since we are following them right now, if they scouted it right, actually, if they scouted it right, it's going to cause wonders for their side. But if Nagahitam is actually
mm-hmm.
aware that they are utilizing a mechanic and a warlock,
Yep.
maybe that's why they are playing a little bit safe, because they already re-strategized based on the roster of their opponent.
Yep. And I think Nonsense right now is an offense. So let's go ahead and check.
So for Nagahitam, actually, upon checking, I can see that they have. Can you go down for a bit, MG? So we can check. Okay, so they have that mechanic as well. Mechanic and Warlock. So they have the same lineup. They have the same lineup, actually. Mechanic and Warlock both for these two guilds. And Suicide Destruction, no! Not Suicidal Destruction will not actually get casted right there. But you can see the Warlock coming from Nagahitam being a little bit aggressive here. That Nonsense member, that mechanic will get disabled right here. White Imprison will get casted on. That mechanic of Nonsense will get disabled. And you can see the Archbishop will go down for Nonsense. And nothing will land for Nonsense right there, as Nagahitam actually spotted where their opponents are at. They waited for that specific spot. And because Nonsense took the bait, Nagahitam took advantage of what happened right there, as they are going to take round number 1 against Nonsense.
Yes, that's actually a good performance coming from Nagahitam. They played actually really good. They know the spacing. They know where to counter the mechanic, and where to deal with the mechanic as well. So they're just playing very reactive. They just want to take their time on that fight. So very good performance coming from Nagahitam.
Yes, a very good performance indeed coming from Nagahitam. But yeah, MG, they have the same lineup for these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
They have that Warlock, they have that mechanic. And Nonsense, they took the bait that Nagahitam is actually preparing for them. And because of that, again, December 7, a lot of things can happen, but positioning is also part of your strategy.
Yes.
And you can see Nagahitam just waiting for them at that specific spot. And probably the mechanic of Nagahitam is already positioned, just for that front slide, and probably Suicidal Destruction to land.
Yes.
But I like the targeting there of Nagahitam, because that Warlock just locked on that mechanic, made sure that he doesn't do anything else. White Imprison will get casted to disable that, so they don't need to worry about the mechanic anymore.
Yes. Actually, I think what's lacking on the side of Nonsense, since that they opted out for a Warlock, they don't have that that front Shadow Chaser, sorry. That Shadow Chaser, which is mostly of the Shadow Chasers that we're seeing, they're actually setting the tempo for the front line. So most of the fights that we're seeing, the Shadow Chaser is getting the bait for the fight, and usually there is a follow-up coming from maybe a Suicidal Destruction, First Circle, or a quick punish from the Sorcerer on the back lane. So
Yes.
I think that's what's missing right now on Nonsense. But I think they are trying to play defensively, but they don't have any option because Nagahitam is not moving on their spot. So they took that initiative to take the first punch. But I think on the side of Nonsense, they need to play on their comfort zone. So if they want to stay in one position and play defensively, I think they should take that.
Well, in my opinion though, I think they just took the bait right there.
Yeah.
Because like what I mentioned, positioning is also part of your strategy. You can go a different way around. You can probably bait someone out as well. So you can
Yes.
bait that skill out. You can wait for that mechanic to just use that front slide and use that white imprison to lock the mechanic up.
Yep.
And it all depends on the mistakes that your opponents will commit as well.
I
Again,
agree.
Nagahitam um just made sure to capitalize on what Nonsense did. So with them doing so, they actually won that first round.
Yes.
Yes, and so far, right now, MG,
Hmm.
the teams that competed earlier got a score of 2-0.
Ah. Yeah.
And
So are we
maybe
gonna
this
see a
time
trend?
around,
Yeah.
maybe we are going to see 1-1, or is it going to be a 1-2, or is it going to be a 2-0 still? So we'll know in just a bit as they
Yes.
are in the waiting room. Just a few seconds more before the timer hits zero for them to quickly stock up their supplies for to bring into battle, and of course a minute to buff themselves out. And of course we have some cheers here on our chat right now though, MG.
Ooh.
Yeah, because actually for nonsense, they like to turn off their emblems sometimes in Warframe 3. I know it's really hard to spot them sometimes if they do that. But of course here in Server 7 you can't do that. We have rules here. And if you do that, I think it's going to be dangerous for you.
Yeah. But again, on the side of nonsense, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna come up with a plan for this one. Knowing nonsense, their defense is really good. So if they really wanted to take a series versus Nagahitam, they need to play their strengths around it, right? If they want to focus on the suicidal destruction, I suggest they go for a closed area or a small area where they can actually land those suicidal destructions, or maybe those spell casting damage coming from their warlock and their sorcerer. So they need to
Yeah,
choose wisely
well,
their positioning.
yeah, that's one of the options. The key to a victory is your positioning as well. But again, a mechanic in your lineup is actually a huge gamble because again, you're not really sure if it will connect with a lot of players. That's Wizard of Destruction, or it can get countered really quickly if the your opponents have very quick reflexes to cast skills against you.
Yes.
So right now though, nonsense will move at a different pace. They are moving more quicker as you need to hide
Okay.
actually. You need to hide what's blocking the screen right now, MG. And
There you go.
yeah, make sure you don't forget that something is blocking the way as nonsense already spotted that vacuum and Quagmire on the floor right there. Nagahitam just waiting for them at the same spot. And nonsense is still
Yeah.
Nasa is still pushing in. And probably the mechanic here of Nagahitam is waiting for them somewhere. But they're playing a little bit more slowly. Magnetic Earth getting connected here. And you can see the positioning of these two teams. You can
Okay.
see Curse
Curse
Circle.
circle. Come on, both.
Oh no!
Oh!
Yeah, that's
What?
suicidal destruction against nonsense right there. But you can see a follow-up suicidal destruction will go off for nonsense as
What?
well. But another member from nonsense will go down. That's Minstrel is running away, coming from nonsense. And nonsense is going to be in trouble right here because it's going to be 4 versus 2. Now 4 versus
versus
1
one.
as that mechanic
What?
is the only one left remaining for nonsense. And I like the way that Nagahitam played right there, just disabling that mechanic coming from nonsense at the right moment. Curse circle connected, but someone was still up and running. So that curse circle probably didn't land on the target that they needed it to land on.
Yes, it's actually like a really good fight. Like the exchange of curse circle, like Nonsense managed to land a curse circle on Nagahitam. Nagahitam managed to land a curse circle on the stack of Nonsense, but Nagahitam is pretty aware on the positioning of their mechanic, and that mechanic managed to secure that quick explosion to Nonsense, and Nonsense got really white. So it's again they got actually forced into a small corner. So that's why the movement coming from Nonsense is not that really good. So yeah,
It's
that's
pretty
fine.
amazing on what happened right there. I believe that suicidal destruction coming from Nagahitam landed on 5 players of Nonsense,
Yeah.
eliminating all 5 of the players right there. Um, and Nonsense just had a difficult time right there because Nagahitam was just waiting for them at that simple spot or that specific spot, and they are taking the bait every time. Again, they have that specific spot for a reason. They are waiting for them at that specific spot for a reason. So whoever takes that bait actually is at a disadvantage, and unfortunately for Nonsense, they took that bait, and yeah, Nagahitam just got the better hand or the upper hand rather against Nonsense that time around. And it's a 2 against none as Nagahitam will go to the next round. And let's take a look at the bracket right now, MG, and take a look at the winners for today's set of matches.
Yep.
So, for match number 1, it was Walang Sangit Ka who actually eliminated Opus Dei as they are going to move on to the next round to battle Adonis, who won the second match earlier against Mirage Legend. And for
Yes.
match number 3, it was Dominati who actually proved their dominance with their name against Consolation, and they are going to battle Naga Hitam, who we
Yes.
actually just saw landing that perfect suicidal destruction against 5 members from Nonsense.
Yes. It's actually a quite interesting match, the Nagahita. At one point I thought Nonsense can actually land their suicidal destruction on top of Nagahitam, but again, Nagahitam was really prepared on how to counter it. So they actually opted out for a quick curse circle or a trade curse circle. That's actually a risky play. But I think on the side of Nagahitam, they actually connected it properly compared to the curse circle of Nonsense. So I think that gave the opportunity on the side of Nagahitam to just land that perfect suicidal destruction on the core players of Nonsense. So yeah.
Yes, and that's a good game, well played. Congratulations again to all the winners for today. And yes, let's actually go down the bracket for a little bit right here, MG. And for the next match, actually. For the next match, so let me make sure that it is going to be the
Yeah.
next match,
Go ahead.
alright? Okay, so for the next match, it will be on on a Wednesday,
Yeah, this coming
November
Wednesday.
2. It's
November
going to be
2.
Last Nightmare versus
Bayou.
Bayou GGTQ.
You.
And for match number 2, it's going to be Dominari versus KTF.
Yes.
And third match is going to be Infinix Reborn versus 85% Fictive.
Ooh.
And for the fourth match, it will be Goons versus Mirage Icon.
Ooh, is this the same
So-
like as Mirage Legend, or this is going to be a different one?
I don't know. Maybe they're affiliated. And for 85% fictive, maybe they're affiliated with 15% active to make up that whole 100%.
Yeah.
So let us know if you are from GGL or if you know if they are affiliated with one another. And again, maybe 85% fictive, they want to retaliate for their friends if they are really affiliated with 15% active. Anyway,
Yes.
that's all. That's going to be all the matches for tonight's stream. Again, the streams are only going to be every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday. Tuesday is War of Imperium, Wednesday is Ragnarok Asia Masters, and Sunday is Ragnarok Asia Masters. And just one quick thing, yeah, thank you to all the people who actually attended
Yes.
or who visited our booth at ESGS
Yes, yes.
SMX Convention Center, booth C4, are the RO booth right there, who meted us, CM Emmy and CM Miko, and yeah, of course, MG and me, who actually took pictures in the booth and participated in the activities. For all the players who actually participated in the exhibition matches
Yes,
as
the
well,
77.
thank you very much for participating and for visiting the booth at SMX Convention Center. But anyway, that's going to be it for tonight.
Yes.
And yeah, once again, we are your casters. My name is James.
And my name is MG.
And we'll see you guys on the next stream. Bye, guys.
Bye.